Good morning, students. Welcome to the chemistry session. Today, let us start with the chapter Periodic Classification of Elements. Periodic classification of elements. So, in the chemistry, number of chemical compounds are formed. These chemical compounds are made up of elements. We are made up of the elements. So far in the chemistry, 118 elements are discovered so far. Out of 118, there are 90 elements are said to be the natural elements. They are said to be the natural elements which are being discovered from the nature, which are being obtained from the nature, and the remaining elements are said to be called as synthetic elements. The remaining elements are called as synthetic elements, or we also can call as artificial elements. Artificial elements, we say, okay, which are being prepared by the humans in the laboratory, and these elements are being arranged systematically in a periodic table. So these elements, the synthetic elements, whatever may be, these elements are arranged in the periodic table after uranium. Okay, after uranium, these elements are uranium is almost, we can say, after uranium, these elements, remaining synthetic elements are being arranged. That's why these synthetic elements are also called by the name called as trans-uranium or uranic elements. Trans-uranic elements, we say. So this is only to identify, or you can remember in your general way, the 90 are natural elements. The remaining elements, whatever is there, are man-made elements. That's we call as synthetic elements. So let us discuss regarding the little bit history of these elements. Actually, what is an element? What is called as element? So element is formed by the combination of similar type of atoms. So similar type of atoms, which is also called as homogeneous atoms, they combine and they form called as an element. This is the first element which is being discovered in the year almost the 1648. It is being discovered. The first element discovered is in the 1648. That is, the element is phosphorus. Okay, phosphorus is the element first discovered, and it is being identified by the German scientist. It is being identified by the German scientist, and his name is Henning. Okay, it's a scientist's name. It is the Henning. He is a scientist. He discovered the first element. After this element is being discovered, then the remaining scientists started doing the research. They doing the research for identifying the other elements present in the world. So thereby, as the days pass on, slowly the number of elements discovering are increased. They are being increased. So these elements which were being identified, okay, they are being identified, are being placed, okay. Then the element are being given names, different names. Suppose if you have now we are saying phosphorus is given with phosphorus we are giving. Next one, if you take the hydrogen, we are writing element hydrogen. Next one, oxygen. Like this we are giving the names. So whenever the elements are being given, actually the word element is given by the scientist. Element word is given by Robert Boyle. Okay, is given by the scientist Robert Boyle. He given. That's why we say Robert Boyle is said to be called as a father of chemistry. Father of chemistry, Robert Boyle. Father of chemistry. And now later on, many chemistry inventions are done. Innovations have been done. Based on that one, what happened? Lavoisier will be there. Lavoisier is said to be the father of modern chemistry. Father of modern chemistry. So the Robert Boyle has done a great work in the initial days. That's why he was being called as a father of chemistry. Okay, after the element, element word was being by Robert Boyle, then the different elements were being given by the names. Okay, they are being given by the names as we said. Okay, hydrogen, oxygen, different types of names you're saying. So, example, if we take hydrogen. Okay, next one we have phosphorus. Next one we have oxygen. Next we have carbon. Okay, like this, they started writing the names. Okay, but to write these names in a concise way, every element was being given symbol. Every element we come across the word called symbol. Okay, so for every element, what are the names? These are the names: hydrogen, phosphorus, oxygen, carbon. These are the names. Okay, for instead of adding these lengthy names, they are being denoted in a short way, in a concise way, that we call as a symbolic representation. We say it is called as a symbolic representation. So the symbolic representation normally was being given by the scientist Berzelius. It is being given by scientist Berzelius. Berzelius is a scientist. He gave the symbolic representation of the elements. So what he has done is he gave a set of instructions. So if the elements are there, try to give the symbol. How to write the symbol for any element means he try to give the first letter of any element. Okay, first letter. Suppose now the hydrogen is there. You can write as H. If you have the phosphorus, you can write as P. And if you have oxygen, you can write as O. If you have carbon, you can write C. But if any other elements are there, which are having the same first as this one. Example, you have the helium. Helium is there. In this one also, the first letter is H. Hydrogen also H. Then he has given a set that if the starting letter is common for different elements, instead of the first one, you can take use of first two. Okay, like H, E. Or you can take the first three. Like this, you can make use of this one. Like if you have the chlorine, you have the chlorine is there. Actually, chlorine first letter is C. Carbon also first letter is C. That's why what happened inside this one, he took C and instead of here we wrote Cl, chlorine. So the elements were being represented in a symbolic way, and it is easy for us also to write because we have the many chemical reactions in the chemistry. These chemical reactions we write we use the elements only in the symbolical way. So that's why all the elements were being written in the form of symbol. Now the elements whatever we discussed, 118 elements, they were being arranged in a systematic way in the form of called as periodic table. So in the periodic table, all the elements are being represented in the symbolic way only by using their symbols. 118 elements, all of them will have their different symbol. And do remember, symbol of one element do not coincide with the symbol of other element. There will be a differentiation. We should not get confused. Sir, H is there, here H is there. A small word is there, a difference to differentiate one element to the other element. Okay, but few of the elements are being given with their Latin name. The few of the elements discovered, whatever has been discovered, their symbolic representation is not given from their regular name, there it is given from their Latin name. So let's give the few examples which are being given in the Latin name. So in some of the competitive exams, they ask what is the Latin name of some element. Okay, they'll ask. So for that, I am giving the list of the elements which are being written in the which are being called by the names of the Latin name. So you can write here example sodium. Sodium. Normally we write the symbol sodium. The Latin name of this one is called natrium. This is a Latin name. Okay, natrium. That's why based on this one, it is being given the name, the symbol of this one. The symbol of this one is given as Na. It is given Na because if so we can already N stands for nitrogen is there. That's why we are calling as Na, natrium. We can say. Next one. Second, we can another element is a potassium. Potassium. Normally, its Latin name is kalium. Okay, potassium Latin name is kalium. So and the symbol for this one is K. Potassium. Okay, it's the natrium is called as a kalium. It is given as a K. Next one, we have iron. Iron. Okay, the iron Latin name is ferrous. I can call ferrum. The Latin name is ferrum. So that's why it is being given. The symbol of this one is Fe. So you can call as F now means we have F stands for fluorine. Fluorine symbol is F. That's why instead of one F, he took Fe. One, say 2 letters, Fe is called. Okay. Next one, we can call copper. Copper. Okay. The copper Latin name is cuprum. The copper Latin name is cuprum. And here also, it is being given, taken 2 letters here, Cu. Because C stands for carbon. C letter stands for carbon. They took the Cu, cuprum, we can say. Okay, next it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Next one we have is a silver. Silver, normally, it's called as a normally argentinium. Okay, we call as Ag. Sir, why you are taking Ag, sir? We can take first one. Ar stands for argon. Okay, it is an inert gas. Already name is there. That's why one symbol of one element should not coincide with other. That's why here instead of giving here, it is given by the symbol Ag. Next one, we can have gold. It's called as a aurum. Okay, here it is given symbol Au. Okay, symbol of this one is Au. Next one, mercury. Mercury, only the liquid metal. The liquid metal in the total elements is a mercury. Okay, its symbol here it is a hydrogenium. That's why it is given by it is called as Hg. Okay, hydrogenium, it is called as normally can call Hg. Next one, tin. Tin, it is normally called as stannum. Stannum, symbol is Sn. Stannum. Okay. Next one we have is a antimony. Antimony. Its one it is called as, its Latin name is stibium. Stibium. Okay. Its Latin name is stibium and we are calling as Sb. Stibium. Okay. So normal few of the elements I am saying so that in some of the competitive exams generally they will ask what is the Latin name of so and so element, like this. To have a general awareness, I am giving the instruction because before we go in depth regarding the periodic classification element, first of all we should have an initial idea regarding what is called element. Okay, how do we represent the element? Okay, generally by regular name or any of the Latin name etc. And one more thing I can give here, lead. Okay, its Latin is called plumber. That's why it is given as a Pb. Next one you can have tungsten. Tungsten. Its Latin name is wolfram. Okay, so that's why it is given as W. So likewise, these are the few elements which are having with the called with the Latin name. So elements all the elements were being not discovered at a time. As I said now, the starting it was being started from the 1648, 1649. The first element was discovered. Then later on, progressively, the research was going on, and many elements were being arranged. Many elements were being discovered. But the question arises: as the elements were being discovered, they were being given name, and they were symbolically represented. And as we know, the elements are made up of same type of atoms. Okay, the atoms is a small indivisible particle. Okay, small indivisible particle is called atom. So depending on the atoms present, every element will have atomic number, mass number. We have already we come across in the atomic structure that every atom is made up of every atom consists of what you can say electron, proton, and neutron. Every atoms consists of electron, proton, neutron. How many atoms are present in an element? How many atoms present in an element? Based on that one, every element will have the 2 points. Atomic number. Every element will have atomic number. Second is called mass number. 2 points are there. Atomic number. Second one is the mass number. So what is this atomic number indicates? Atomic number indicates the number of electrons in an atom. Number of electrons. And mass number is the number of protons plus number of neutrons. Number of protons and number of neutrons in an atom is called mass number. So why should we know these points? Because elements were being discovered. These elements, whatever being discovered, the scientists started arranging them in a systematic way. So different scientists has used their own theory to arrange the elements in a different manner. So let us discuss few of the arrangements which have been done in the history. So when you go over here, the first periodic classification, totally in the history say, the periodic classifications broadly we study. The first one of periodic classification is being given by scientist Dauvergne. The first periodic classification of element was being given by scientist Dauvergne. So Dauvergne, he tried to arrange element. By the time the Dauvergne have tried to arrange the elements, almost the number of elements discovered approximately is 30 elements. Approximately 30 elements were being discovered by the time he started arranging the elements in a particular order. What he had done is, every element, whatever discovered at that time, he started arranging them in the form of group of three elements. Okay, he took the elements and group of three. That's why based on the arrangement, the first classification is Dauvernier's law of triads. Okay, Dauvergne law of triads. So what is this triads? Tri means three, arts means elements. Means he has took the elements, three elements, and he made them in a group of three. Suppose let's take the three elements called A, B, C. If you consider, he has an element called A, B, C. First, the main criteria of this Dauvergne is he started arranging Daubernier arranged the elements in the increasing order of atomic masses. He arranged the elements in the increasing order of atomic masses. Means whatever the elements he is taking, A, B, C, whatever he is trying to take, he arranged them in the increase. Let's imagine A atomic mass is 4, B atomic mass is 8, C atomic mass is 12. You can see they are arranged in the form of increasing order. Okay, these values are only for understanding. I am saying means the whatever the elements is to, he took the elements and he arranged them in the increasing order. And what is the meaning of this triad? Okay, which he called as triad means, according to the triad, according to him, the elements, which elements are to be called as, any three elements to call a triad means, he said no, it's not like any three elements grouped together is called a triad. According to the meaning of according to him, the meaning of the triad means the atomic mass of middle element. The atomic mass of the middle element. Here the middle element is what? B. Okay. The atomic mass of middle element. Atomic mass of the middle element should be equal to average of atomic masses of first and last element. Atomic mass of first and last. You see here, B is the first element, B is the middle element. So if your B is a middle element, the atomic mass of B. Now the element, what is that? B, which should be equal to average of atomic mass first and last. What is the first element? A. So atomic mass of A, and next one is atomic mass of A. Next is atomic mass of C. First and last element. Now the last element is atomic mass of C by 2. So that's why A and C. Totally, if you want to write here, you can write. So atomic mass of B is equal to A plus C by 2. So it may not be exact value. Okay, the exact what you're taking, it may not be equal to same thing. You can take average, means approximate value if it is considered also. Then these three together is called as a triad. And he gave the example. Few of the examples is being given here. Few of the example. The best example what he gave is lithium, sodium, potassium. The first triad he gave is lithium, sodium, potassium is one. So according to our concept, lithium, sodium, and potassium. According to our rule, the mass of sodium, middle element is sodium. The mass of sodium should be equal to the atomic mass of lithium and potassium by 2. So let's see whether they are correct or wrong. Whether it is correct or wrong, we'll see. Okay. So once again, I am writing the same thing. According to the triad, atomic mass of middle element. The atomic mass of middle element is equal to the average of atomic masses of first and last element. In the triad. If it is fulfilled like this, then only that is called as a triad. Okay, and as we said, the example for this one is lithium, sodium, potassium. He gave the first triad he gave is this one, lithium, sodium, potassium. So whether it's the three, how we call this one as triad means lithium. The lithium atomic mass is 7. Lithium atomic mass is 7, we can say. And normal we can have. The potassium, its atomic mass is 29. Okay, lithium is 7. For this one is potassium is 29. Then if you account our rule, sodium atomic mass is equal to lithium atomic mass plus potassium atomic mass by 2. So what is the mass of lithium? It is 7. What is the atomic mass of potassium? 29 by 2. Total will be equal to what? 36 by 2. It will equal to 23. Means really atomic mass of sodium is 23 only. Practical, now we check also. The sodium atomic number is 11. Mass number is 23. Now in the latest also we get it. So means the average of first and last element, this equal to the atomic mass of middle element. So now these three are called what we call as triad. Okay. He has given one more example also. Chlorine, bromine, iodine. Chlorine, bromine, iodine. Three of them we can say. So when you have this one, chlorine, bromine, account this one. If you want to call this one as triad, as usual, the atomic mass of bromine will be equal to the average of atomic mass of chlorine plus iodine by 2. Chlorine and iodine by 2 we can say. And everyone knows chlorine atomic mass is 35.5. Chlorine atomic mass is 35.5 plus. Next one we can have is the, okay, coming to the next one is the iodine. Iodine mass is 127. Iodine atomic mass is 127. So if you want to do this 35.5 by 127 by 2. So when you do here, it is 35.5, it is 127. Total will take 5, 12, so almost 6, 1. So 162.5. It is 162.5 divided by 2. So when you divide by 2, automatically you will getting approximately equal to 81.2 something, 81.2. And when you take here bromine, it's approximately, it is given as 80. Okay, it is given as a 80. It means I have said now exactly it may not be. If it is exact, very perfect. But as we are taking, it is an average. So nearby value, whatever the value you are getting, practically when you check here, it's a bromine is 80, but we got 81. So nearby value. Then he called these three are also called as a triad. These three are also called as a triad. So this is the first triad. This is the second triad. And he also gave one more triad. Calcium, strontium, barium. Calcium, strontium, barium. Ca, calcium. Sr, strontium. Ba, barium. According to the rule, the atomic mass of middle one, strontium, should be equal to the atomic mass of first one and last one by 2. And atomic mass of calcium, the calcium atomic mass is 40. Okay, at the calcium, the most element which is the main component of our bone, the calcium, its atomic mass is 40. Next one we have is the barium. The barium, its value is 137. Normally if it is having the 137, barium 137, calcium 40. So according to the strontium is 40 plus 137 by 2. So approximately it is 177 by 2, almost equal to 80, what happened? 88.5. We are getting practical value, we are getting is a 88.5, and the strontium we have is a 89. Okay, so approximately we are getting nearby the values you are getting. So like this he was being able, one more like this he was being able to arrange this one. So the Daubernier, credit first was going for the Daubernier because he is the first person. He started arranging the elements what were being discovered in some particular order according to his own theory. What is his theory? Triad theory. According to his point of triad, he is starting arranging element, etc. Okay. Likewise, he was being arranging the element. So you can see here lithium, sodium, potassium, one triad. Chlorine, bromine, iodine is a one more triad. Next one, calcium, strontium, barium. It is a one more triad. Next one, he has given one more also. Iron, cobalt, nickel. Iron, cobalt, nickel. This is also one more triad. You can take. Next one, sulfur, selenium, tellurium. This is also one more triad. It is also called as one more triad. So totally these 5 triads normally you can give. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 normally. So these 5 triads are there. But when you count the elements in this one, the total the elements in his triads what is given, it is 15 only. Because he gave the 5 triads, 5 each triad is containing 3 elements, totally 15. But by the time the Daubernier started arranging the elements discovered, the number of elements discovered are 30, 30 elements are there. But the Daubernier, when they ask what is the question of where is the remaining elements? If they ask the remaining elements, where are those? So the main disadvantage, or we can say disadvantage or drawback of this theory mainly is that Daubernier could not arrange all elements. He could not arrange all elements discovered. All elements discovered in the form of triads. So actually, practically, if you check 30 elements means you have to get 10 triads with there. But you can see here only 5 triads. Remember the triads. Anyone, competitive exams, they will ask. They'll give 4 options to you and ask which of the following is not a triad. Which of the following is not a triad, they will ask. So that's why you have to remember this one. The first triad, what is this one? The first triad is lithium, sodium, potassium. These 3 elements are one triad. Second triad is what? Chlorine, bromine, iodine. This is a second triad. This is a second group of elements. The third triad is calcium, strontium, barium. Calcium, strontium, barium. This is the third triad. The fourth one is iron, cobalt, CO. CO stands for cobalt. Cobalt, Ni. Ni stands for nickel. Okay. Iron, cobalt, nickel. Next one is S. Sulfur, selenium, tellurium. Okay. Sulfur, selenium, tellurium. And children, many elements are, you are new to the elements. The symbols and the names are new to you. So you need to more practice so that you can remember. But timing, you note down what are the elements you are coming across. You can note down book so that it will be helpful for you in the upcoming classes. So repeating here, lithium, Li, lithium, Na, sodium, K, potassium. Lithium, sodium, potassium. So lithium, sodium, potassium. This is the first triad. Next, chlorine. Chlorine. Second one is bromine. Bromine. Next one is iodine. Iodine. This is second. Third one. The third one is calcium. Ca. Calcium. Sr. Strontium. Strontium. Next, Ba. Barium. Ba stands for barium. Okay. Ba. Next, Fe. Fe stands for iron. Co stands for cobalt. Co stands for cobalt. Next one, Ni. Ni stands for nickel. Okay. Iron, cobalt, nickel. 3. Next, last one, S. S stands for sulfur. Next, Se. Selenium. Se stands for selenium. Last Te. Tellurium. Te stands for tellurium. So these are the 5 triads Daubernier has given. But the drawback is, as he was able to, by the time he was arranging them, 30 elements were being discovered. But in his triad, he was able to arrange how many? Only 15. That's why the main drawback of this theory is he could not arrange all elements discovered in the form of triads. He couldn't be able to discover. Why he couldn't be able to discover? When they ask the question, say that the atomic mass of first and last is not equal to the average of first and last element, is not equal to the average, the middle element, atomic mass. That's why he couldn't be able to arrange. Next, second, the drawback, this is the main drawback of the Daubernier. Still, when you go in depth, now only we are discussing regarding elements. Elements normally are of general we say some elements are called metals, some elements are called non-metals. You come across these terms metals, non-metals in the upcoming classes. But what he said is elements he made a group, okay, group of 3. But in this group of 3 elements, he didn't say some of the elements, what are the elements is called? They are not having same nature. Okay, they are not having same nature. Some are metals, some are non-metal. Mixed, he mixed them. So some of the few scientists also have argued that mixing of the arranging of these elements in this manner is also not a correct way. So whenever any drawback is done, automatically what we have, this theory will be discarded. This theory will be discarded. So whenever this theory discarded, it led to the new theory. It led to the second theory, a second way of classification of elements. The second way of classification of elements after Daubeney was given by Newland. It is given by the scientist Newland. Okay, almost the Newland has given this. Daubeney has given it in the 1829. Remember, scientist Daubeney first he gave this one in the 1829. By that time, approximately 30 elements were discovered. After a long gap, around he has taken the 20 years of the gap automatically. In the year of 1864, Newland has discovered the element. He gave one more type of classification. This classification which is given by Newland is called as a Newland's law of octave. The second classification is called as a Newland's law of octave. Octave. Remember, octave. Octave means what? 8. Okay. So let us see why he has this. We use the word octave. Here he use the word triad. Means he grouped the elements in the form of 3. Here he tried to arrange the elements in the form of the 8. But how he has done? The first point here says that, okay, by the time Newland has started arranging the elements, the number of elements discovered is also more. It is approximately, okay, it is approximately 56 elements were being discovered. 56 elements were discovered by the time he gave this error. So these 56 elements which were being discovered, he started arranging them in the increasing order of atomic masses. In the increasing order of atomic masses only. Okay, let's take let us take the elements like okay, let us take A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Let us assume these alphabets are like elements. These alphabets are like elements. So when he started arranging them in the increasing order of atomic masses, let's assume its mass is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, like this, all is arranged in atomic masses. He observed that what are the properties, elements when he is going on increasing, I, J, K, L, like this increasing, he observed, notice one point. What is that point is, the properties of first element is similar to the properties of its 8th element. What are the properties of first element? Now first element is A. It is showing the similar properties to that of its 8th. The 8th element is H. Okay, what a property means? It may be some color, it may be smell, any property is there. Similarly, if you observe the B, he started, when you observe, from the B, the 8th element will be I. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, here this is also 8. Next, when you have this element is also showing its similar properties to its 8th element. The 8th element is J. Okay, 8th element is J. So, like this, he observed this property. That's why what the Newland has said, that means when the elements are arranged in the increasing order of atomic masses, the properties of the first element is similar to its 8th element. Okay, its 8th element. So that's why here is as this is called as oct. 8 elements are linked here. That's why he is given as called octave. That's what we say. And this notation, instead of giving lengthy like this, he started giving them down here. Suppose here J-H-1, he wrote like this: A, B, C, D, E, F, G. H instance 1 he wrote down, because this element will be the 8th element. This element will be the 8th element. Okay, I, J, K, L, M, like this. Means from the B if you take, the 8th element is I. From the C if you take, 8th element is like this. So the properties are repeating according to this 8 every 8. And this type of representation is like the musical notation. When you go for the musical notation, we have the sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, and the 8th one is again what? Sa. So you see, first one and the last one again repeating. Same like how these properties are there. The first element and the 8th element is what? This one. It is repeating. So that's why this type of arrangement was given by Newland and is called what? Law of octave. What are the elements? 56 elements, whatever being discovered, all are arranged in the form of the period like this. But main, the Newland has a main thing is, he arranged what 56 elements totally he arranged in the form of in the same way. But problem comes is that there was some drawback observed in the Newland. What are the drawback he observed is, thing is that first one, he did not give provision for new elements. He did not give provision for new elements to be discovered. New elements to be discovered means how many elements are there discovered? 56. All the 56 elements he arranged, because each is having 7, means automatically how many rows you got? 8 rows. Okay, how many is getting? He'll get the 8. When you write 8, automatically is there. But one element, new element, if it discovered, that was not able to be arranged in this one. So there was that was considered as the main drawback. No element was being, new element discovered was being given provision to arrange in his table. Okay, and along this when is this one, this table was mainly applicable. This type of law of octave is applicable mainly for the low atomic mass elements only. This is mainly applicable for low atomic mass elements. This is applicable for low atomic mass element, that is up to calcium only. Okay, when he started arranging elements totally, up to calcium. The calcium, it was having the atom mass 40. So up to 40 it was being arranged. So after 40, what happened after calcium, etc., almost the calcium will be here. So beyond after calcium, the elements were having little bit more atomic mass. So those elements were they could not perfectly explain obey law of octave, because the law of octave, according to the law of octave, the properties of first element is similar to 8th element. That we are saying means what color, what type of color, odor, or any properties is there, it should be similar to its 8th. Okay, when you start from here, the calcium will be the 8th. From here, the next element should be same property should be repeated. But this law of octave is only restricted up to the element calcium only. After calcium, whatever the elements discovered, they are having more atomic masses. This law of octave is not 100% acceptable. That's why the main thing we say, law of octave is only applicable for the low atomic mass elements, that is up to calcium only. After calcium, there are elements are there. Almost there are 25 elements more after calcium which has been discovered, but they have more atomic masses. So that's why for that elements, these what happened, arrangement, this law of octave is not 100% acceptable. Okay, so we'll give in the case, I can give few example of the table. In the case hydrogen, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitroxygen 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, next one fluorine. We can have the sodium, magnesium, like this. All were being arranged in the case. So properties of hydrogen similar to fluorine. Next one, properties of lithium, its eighth element is sodium, it should be. Okay, but when it is arranging like this, all are not obeying this law of octave. Okay, calcium is almost up to in the next year, up to here in the next row it is there. Up to calcium, this law of octave is okay. But after calcium, this law of octave is not proper. Whenever any classification has drawbacks, automatically we discard this classification and we go for the next classification. And the next classification which we are going to discuss in the next session is the Mendeleev's classification. Mendeleev's table we say. Okay, Mendeleev's table, that is a very important table, and this one. Okay, so that we'll discuss in the next session. Okay, thank you.